Free Comic Book Day Mini-Con is coming the first Saturday in May, May 2nd. We are giving away 20,000 comics, way more than we gave away last year. Plus, we have Free Comic Book Day month, which entitles you to free stuff all month long. We have an amazing guest, Kris Saldana. We'll talk to him next. Welcome to another Empire's Comics Vault Free Comic Book Day video. This May 2nd, we are upping it to 20,000 comic books. We've got a ton of great guests. A lot of new people will be down here that you haven't seen before, and one of them is Kris Saldana. How you doing, Kris?
I'm good. How are you, Ben?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to have you down here. You came down before just to, promote your book and to do some things like this, but this is the first big event like this that you've done with us, correct?
Yeah. It's actually my first kind of con that I've ever done.
It's going to be
or
awesome.
Tabled at least. Yeah.
It's going to be so much
That's
fun.
what I hear.
We have a great turnout, and we have got a lot of people who like to come down on Free Comic Book Day specifically to support the local creators, which you are. I mean, you've been working your butt off.
Yes.
Trying to create stuff.
I have.
What was the very first thing that you did? And he's modest. What was the very first thing you did? Because it was Wee Little Monsters, correct?
Yeah. That was the first ever sort of project that I had was Wee Little Monsters, which was a comic strip that I put online, Rolly, which was a comic book strip that I put online about, it was basically like, accounting for the lives of monsters when they were kids and sort of, the weird situations they got into. We actually finished that last year in the summer, which is cool, but we don't do that anymore. That was my first project.
But they can still find this up on Facebook.
Yeah, it's on Facebook. I still have the page up there. We got to update it a little bit.
But you can scroll through, and it's fun because it's like the old school newspaper strips.
Yeah.
And it's one and done. Cute little jokes and things like that. And who was the guy who did the art? Because he was fantastic.
Johnny Jimison. He actually is doing some other art for some different stuff that I've got going on too.
That you have going on.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get into what you have coming up.
Okay.
That leads to Showcase, because you wrote a ton of stuff leading up to this even. But this is his very first completed comic book.
Yeah, my first one ever.
And it sold out the first time you ordered.
Yes.
Oh, you had to go back for some more.
Yeah.
If you can't make it for Comic Book Day, we have them here. I highly recommend, if you're going to be here, pick them up from Kris. Give us a little rundown on Showcase.
Yeah, so Showcase, it's my first book. I wrote it with Ellie Fisher, who did the art, and she's amazing. So it's about this kid who dies at a punk show. That's not really a spoiler, but it's more about the way that he dies and the process of dying at a punk show. It's about this theater Showcase that I grew up around when I was younger, and saw kids and punks walking to. I was never able to go, so I just wanted to write about it.
Okay, so this was a place that is personal to you.
Yeah, and very personal. Yeah. It was weird. I never really thought I was going to write about it for my first comic. I always thought I was going to write about some kind of hero that I made up when I was younger. But when I was writing it, I was like, this should be my first comic ever. Okay. Which is my first full length comic book.
And it's a thick book. I mean,
it's huge. It's 40 pages.
Yeah, it's 40 pages.
It's huge.
You get a lot out of this book, and you get introduced to the young kid. You get introduced to exes of his brothers, friends. You get to see the past. Her art style is perfect for it.
Yeah.
But it really. I don't want to say it's like that. It's exactly like that. But for all of you people who are a fan of like some Wood or Lemire or Cloonan, there's a lot of that kind of real life element.
Yeah.
So I think that you guys should really check it out and take a peek at it.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's my book, so I think it's great. I think it's okay, but I like it a lot. I think a lot of people who are even into music can connect with it. Can relate to it. I mean, kids who grew up around the punk scene, around just any kind of music scene, really could relate to it. Now,
did you ever get to go to that club?
No, it closed down.
You never did.
It closed down before I was old enough to. Well, what happened was I lived in a place where my house there's a window. My room had a window where I see all these kids walking down the street to this club. So I'd see, all these punker kids, all these hipster kids walking to this club for shows, and my parents were very conservative, and they never let me go. So I felt very wronged in my heart, and of course I wanted to write about it and say, you know what, I actually did go in my writing. So
you did. This is what it would have been. You know what? It wouldn't have lived up to it.
No, probably not.
What
Yeah.
your vision of this place is probably so much greater
Yeah, probably.
than what it would have actually
Yeah,
been.
it's a really cool place in Corona, California.
And this is a one shot. It's one and done. You can get
it's
in,
done.
enjoy it. So definitely check this out. So you're working on some other things too.
Yeah, so I'm working on a few other books. I got my second book is called Superpower Mega Fighters, and it's sort of like X-Men meets Fight Club, which is really cool. It's about these kids who fight in this underground sort of fighting circuit. It's really cool. It's about kids who have powers, and the first book is going to be out.
They misuse them by
fighting each other. Yeah,
instead of doing
I got that
good.
from Kingdom Come, really. Like about kids not really using their powers to sort of help.
What would you do with your powers if you had superpowers?
I'd do something.
Would you do something? You don't have to tell me exactly.
I told you before, I hate conflict, so I'm not sure if I would go out and fight people and try to save people, but I definitely contribute to science in some way.
So you would as allowing yourself to become a guinea pig?
Yeah, well, maybe. I haven't thought of that much through.
Okay, I mean, I would hope that I would do what is right.
Yeah, you would hope that.
I would hope that. I would really like to hope that.
I'm not sure if you would.
But you know, I mean, temptation, it's a horrible thing.
Yeah.
And that's why it's great that I got those kids books in, because it taught us a lot.
Yeah, those kids books are awesome.
Sinestro uses his powers for greed.
For greed. I know it's fear.
No, it said in that book, Sinestro uses his powers for greed. He is a selfish individual.
Who wrote those books?
I don't know. They were written for like a 9-year-old, but I'm hoping that I would do the right thing. Anyways, I'm sorry. We got off base.
Yeah, so that book is going to be out for Free Comic Day. So that's going to be awesome. So
that's good. So that'll be the debut for the second book.
Yeah, for my second ever comic. And then I'm working on another comic book with Jacob Perez, who is this amazing, talented, super great artist. And Lizzie Stanford's working on Superpower Mega Fighters, which is really awesome too. And she's just been incredible. But working on that with Jacob, and it's about this luchador who fights for sort of like world peace. It's sort of like Gundam in a way, where countries send their own Gundams to fight each other for like.
Everyone sends their own wrestler.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone sends their own wrestler in this underground circuit to fight for like trading rights and different stuff like that. It's not very political as much as just like fun and really kind of world building and like super like crazy world and mystical stuff. And we're gonna get pretty crazy with it. The first issue he goes to Japan, he fights this Japanese wrestler, but I think the next issue he goes to space.
How many issues are we getting out of this?
We're probably gonna do 5 issues of that over the course of the next year. That'll be like my first ever like long arc project.
Okay, that's exciting.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Exciting.
Yeah, and like I said, Jacob has been incredible. And it's about luchadors, which is something I care about, very Hispanic culture-ish, and I feel like if I'm Hispanic, I should be writing about Hispanic things as well. You know, not exclusively, but you know.
No, that makes sense. I mean, you have a different perspective that isn't always brought to comic books,
exactly.
So it's good to put that out there.
Yeah, so I'm really stoked on that one. That one's gonna be really good, and we'll have previews of that at Free Comic Book Day too.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, and then also at Free Comic Day, I'll have prints of We Little Monsters, the little comic strips that you can buy.
Which are neat because a lot of them are really very relevant to things, so it's neat that you can frame them, put them up on your wall.
Yeah, you can frame them, put on your whatever you want to do, kitchen magnets or fridge.
Well, that's true. You
yeah. I don't know how to do that.
Well, you don't have to make them yourself.
Okay. Yeah, magnet guy.
We do. We'll talk.
Okay.
So that's great. Where can we find you online?
You can find me at krissaldana.tumblr.com. I'm probably gonna make a Facebook page for myself. I've been thinking about that.
Like you'll say, Kris Saldana writer.
Yeah, and this is kind of weird. Like, hey, come like me.
Is it gonna be like a fan page?
No, it's gonna be like for my projects. I'll put my projects, what I've got going on, different previews behind stuff. So I'll probably
look for more of that.
Yeah, I'll put that. I'll probably make it tonight. You can put it under the video, Ronnie. Sorry, you're not there, Ronnie. But yeah, and then I have a Twitter at I think it's at. I just changed it. It's at Kris Saldana, Kris_Saldana, and then I'm on Instagram too at Kris Saldana.
All right, that's perfect. Well, thank you for coming down.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Make sure you guys come down May 2nd. Kris, a ton of other artists, writers, Supreme Pro Wrestling. It's going to be a great day.
You have wrestling here?
Oh, yeah, it's amazing.
No way.
We set up a ring in the parking lot, and they perform for everybody.
They take like guests and stuff to like go up there and wrestle with them?
That's kind of a liability.
I would love that. That's awesome.
You may love luchadors.
I probably
but
will
you
not.
are
I probably will not be at my table as much as I.
You're going to be outside watching.
the wrestlers.
There's a lot going on. Plus, we have a bunch of people in cosplay.
Yeah.
We're raising money for charity. It's a day you guys do not want
Yeah,
to
and
miss.
it's really cool too about Free Comic Book Days that you have a lot of different artists who are local to Sacramento that you can talk to that are still around. You know, that will be around after Free Comic Book Day that you can continue to follow and work with and stuff. I love it personally. I mean, I think Sacramento is a really good comic book scene.
Sacramento's amazing.
Yeah, really good comic book
I would
scene.
never move anywhere.
Yeah.
Sacramento's where I want to be.
Yeah, Sacramento's it's okay.
Well,
No, I love it.
no, it's better. Thank you for coming down, Kris.
You're welcome.
Have a good one. I will see you. Well, you guys will see him on Free Comic Book
Yeah.
Day. I will see him
Showcase.
as soon as it stops.
Yeah, we're
Showcase.
actually. Yeah, sorry. One more thing. This is a limited run. We did a second printing of it. This is second printing. And once we sell all my second printings, it's over. So
Okay.
you want to get this.
So yeah, make sure you grab it. Grab it from the store if you can. Make it to Free Comic Book
Yeah,
Day or
there are
come
copies
down.
at the store. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys.